Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. Mine's going really good. I'm back to 100%. I feel great. So I thought I'd come out here and shoot a couple videos this morning. Well, listen, I wanted to talk to you today about ASMR. And some of you don't know what that means, and it's a type of video that's out on YouTube and all other kinds of social media. And what ASMR stands for is Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And what that literally means is it sends tingles down your spine. These sounds and the visual effects actually sends tingles down your spine. And they do different sounds with different things. So I did an in-depth study on ASMR, and the reason is because I also had trouble falling asleep, and someone said, well, try this. You know what? It really works. And so I did a really in-depth study on it. And a lot of you have asked me to do a video on ASMR. So here goes. For the first thing that I want you to realize is, this is my opinion. It's my opinion, and I'm coming to you. I'm doing this video from a man's response, from a man's perspective of ASMR. Because a man's perspective and a woman's perspective are completely different. So remember that. My opinion from a man's perspective. Okay, first of all, ASMR has to do with soft whispers. Normally the lady will be set up with two microphones right here, the camera right in front of her face, and she whispers into these speakers and it goes into your ear. And it's very, very soft whispers. And they do inaudible whispers where they're just making noise with their mouths, not really any words that you can make out. And when you listen to that, you realize that any demonic entity can speak to you through those speakers and through your headphones. That's my very first thought when I heard my first ASMR video was, man, any demon could be speaking through these earphones. And the next thing I want you to realize that it is definitely sexual. These videos are absolutely sexual. Now, I can't speak for the women. That's why I told you, men and women are different. But as far as men goes, having a woman softly whisper into your ears, and especially when her eyes, like camera's right in front of her face. So when you got your phone up there, you're looking straight into her eyes and she's whispering into your ears. People, for a man, that is very erotic. And a lot of these women, they're very beautiful. The way they dress, the way they do their makeup, their mannerisms in which they record these videos, it's very seductive and it's done on purpose. Now, I've studied many ASMR channels, some of the biggest ones. I went down and looked at all the videos and all the titles. And this is what I found out. A good portion of these women are witches. And a lot of people know that. You don't have to watch ASMR very long to figure that out. A lot of the women, especially the bigger channels, they're all witches. Anytime you have a witch whispering into your ears, especially inaudible whispers, or something in another language that you don't understand, she could be speaking a curse right into your head and you wouldn't even know it. And next, people, I doubt very seriously if any husband or wife would approve of their spouse having another person, whether it be a man or a woman, whispering into their ears. I doubt it very seriously. Now, there's one exception to this rule, and I wanted to make sure that I hit on this, and that is Christian ASMR. There's a lot of Christians doing ASMR, but it's different than the Kundalini ASMR. And that is, they'll sit there very softly reading scripture while there's like a little creek flowing in the background, or maybe some ocean waves, something like that. I don't see any problem with you sitting there listening to scripture with a brook in the background or some ocean waves or something like that. I don't see any problem with that. I believe that the main purpose of ASMR and the witches who do it is to introduce the Kundalini spirit into a person. Now, a lot of people don't know what the Kundalini spirit is. The Kundalini spirit, Kundalini literally means the coiled one. And it represents a primal force coiled at the base of the spine. Now, remember when I told you in the very beginning that ASMR audio sensory meridian response is meant to put tingles down your spine, and that's the Kundalini spirit. The Kundalini spirit is the coiled one at the base of the spine. People, listen, the very first time, the very first ASMR video I ever put in my ears and hit play, the very first one I ever listened to, my first and immediate thought was, any demon could be speaking right into your ears. That was my first thought. And every video I've ever listened to, my spirit is crying out, this is evil. This is evil. It's a portal into the demonic realm. My advice to you is to stay away from it, with the only exception being the Christian ASMR channels that read scripture. My advice is to stay away from it. Now, any of you men that's never watched ASMR, don't go looking for it. Do not go looking for it, because it's highly addictive. A lot of these women, the way they do these ASMR videos, it's like ear porn. That's what it's meant to be. This is what it says in 1 John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Now, let me say one thing in closing. There's a lot of girls that do ASMR videos that have absolutely no agenda behind their videos. They just see other people doing it, they think, I can do that, and they do it. But the majority are witches, and they're doing it on purpose to introduce this Kundalini spirit into you, or to put a curse on you by speaking some other language because they're a witch that you can't even tell what's happening. My advice, stay away from it. I listened to a lot of it. I studied it for about 6 months, and I came away knowing that that is demonic. That's my opinion from a man's perspective. Anyway, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.